In today's video I want to show you the ToneX Cab by IK Multimedia. This is an active guitar speaker, a so-called full range flat response speaker or FRFR speaker, and this is perfect for connecting gear like the ToneX pedal or the ToneX One, but also for any other kind of multi-effects units, modulars or even preamp pedals. In this video I will give you an overview of what the ToneX Cab has to offer, and of course I will show you some sound examples. Not just with ToneX gear, but also with a basic multi-effects pedal and also an analog preamp pedal. But before I start, what is actually a full range flat response cabinet? This type of speaker cabinet is designed to amplify a finished guitar tone, for example from a ToneX tone capture or a modular. That means a guitar sound that already includes an amp simulation and a speaker simulation or impulse response. The job of the FRFR speaker is to reproduce that sound as neutrally as possible, without any additional coloration. In other words, it's like the guitar sound you would hear at a live show through a PA system. And now you may ask why you need something like that, why do you need a ToneX Cab? Most people use FRFR cabinets to hear themselves on stage. So you use it kind of as a monitor speaker when you play with things like the ToneX One, ToneX pedal or with modulars in general. You can also use those cabs for practicing at home, so you're not relying on practicing with headphones only when you use modulars or ToneX pedals, or it's perfect for rehearsals or also for smaller gigs where you're not using a big PA system. So that means you can simply plug in your ToneX pedal, for example, and load a tone capture, and then you can hear that exact sound in the room through that speaker. But the ToneX Cab also comes with some really useful additional features, which I will show you now. So let's take a look at the top panel. On the far left we have an aux control. That means this speaker lets you connect and blend in an external audio source. For example, you can play backing tracks through that or simply just listen to music through this cabinet. Next to the aux control is a 3-band EQ, and this is great for some additional tone tweaking, especially when you play in different rooms, whatever. Maybe you have to do some little adjustments there. Yeah, that's definitely very useful. And there's the amp tone knob. And this helps you to make the cabinet feel and respond more like a real guitar cabinet. Because as a guitar player, you are often used to play through real amps with normal guitar cabinets. And this always feels a bit different than playing through an FRFR speaker. And this amp tone control gives you a bit more of that guitar cabinet feeling. So the more you turn it up, the more it should feel like a traditional guitar cabinet. Then there's also a preset knob, because the ToneX Cab can store up to 8 presets. You can save the EQ and amp tone settings on the presets. And what's also very interesting is you can also save impulse responses to each preset. That means you can also use this cab with a simple preamp pedal. And I will show you that later in the demo. You can simply switch between the presets by turning the preset knob. If the LED is blue, then there's an impulse response saved on that preset. And if it's green, there's none. But at any time, if you are on a preset with an impulse response, you can simply press the preset knob and then you turn the impulse response off. And then on the far right, you've got the volume knob and also the power switch. Let's check out the back. On the far left, there's the power connection, then a USB port. And with that, you can simply connect the cabinet to your computer and also to the ToneX Cab software. And from that software you can load in the impulse responses and you can also adjust the presets. I will show you that briefly later as well. By the way, the cab now also comes with 53 impulse responses, and 3 of them I'm using later in the demo as well. Then you can see 2 inputs. You got the normal input where you plug in your guitar signal, which comes from a ToneX pedal or whatever source you're using, and also an aux input for some external audio. Then you got 2 MIDI ports if you want to connect this cabinet with MIDI. And all the way on the right you can find an XLR output. And this is perfect for sending your signal to front of house or also to an audio interface to record. Next to the XLR output there are two small switches. One is a simple ground lift switch, and then there's a pre-post switch. And pre means that the XLR output sends your unprocessed guitar signal, which comes from the ToneX pedal, for example, through that output. And post means that the signal will be processed by the cabinet. That means if you're using impulse responses in any of the presets, then these will also go through the XLR output. And what is pretty cool and practical is that you can angle this cabinet in a perfect way that you can use it as a monitor speaker. And yeah, that's a very useful feature as well. So now let's check out some sound samples. I will be using 3 different types of gear for that. First, something very simple, the ToneX One. And capturing the room sound is always a bit tricky. I don't have like very professional equipment to do that. And it doesn't make sense to close mic a cabinet like that because it's a full range speaker. That's why I simply use my iPhone to capture the room sound. It's maybe 1 meter away from the cabinet. And at the same time, I will also record through the XLR output. And I will switch between those two sounds. And then I think you can get like a good comparison how it sounds in the room. Now I will show you a quick example using a very affordable multi-effects pedal or modeler, the Pod Express by Line 6. And I've used this pedal in some other videos before, and now you can hear it with an FRFR speaker, in this case the ToneX Cab. And now, since the ToneX Cab lets you load impulse responses into the presets, I want to show you this by using a preamp pedal, in this case the Mothership by Tsakalis Audioworks. This pedal is mainly a preamp pedal, but it also has built-in cab simulations, but I won't use them. I will only use the preamp of this pedal because that's the main thing of this pedal anyway. And this way I can use the impulse responses which I have saved on preset 1, 2 and 3 on the ToneX Cab. And I will simply switch between them so you can hear different sound characters. Now let me quickly show you the ToneX Cab software. As you can see, it's very simple. You got the 4 knobs, bass, mid and treble, and also the amp tone knob. And you can adjust the presets. You can go through the 8 presets and you can save your individual settings there. And as I told you before, if you got the blue light on the presets, then you know there is an impulse response, and you can see them actually down here. And you can adjust them by just adding any impulse response that you want, or you can remove them completely, just how you prefer for your individual presets. And when I turn the knobs on the cab itself, what I'm doing now, you can see it's also moving on the software. And if you want to save your preset to the cab, then you press this, and then everything is saved on the cab. Very simple, very intuitive, and I really hope this video gave you a solid overview of the ToneX Cab, and I hope it helps you decide if this is the right choice for you or not. I mean, if you're someone who plays exclusively with modulars or something like the ToneX pedal, ToneX One, or maybe with a fully ampless pedal board, I think this kind of cabinet makes totally sense. And on top of that, I think the clever little features that the ToneX Cab offers really make the difference. Things like the presets, that you can load impulse responses to the cabinet, and also the amp tone knob, which is pretty cool actually. They give you tons of flexibility on how you can use this cabinet and how you can implement it into different situations. The price right now is 789 euros, I think, at Thomann. It is not the cheapest FRFR cabinet, but considering all the features and also the sound, because I think it sounds really good, I think it's absolutely worth it. And especially if you're already using a ToneX pedal or a ToneX One, then this makes absolutely sense and it's the perfect match. You will find links to the ToneX Cab and all the other gear that I used in this video down below in the video description. These are affiliate links. That means if you want to buy something at Thomann anyway, click on one of those links and you support my channel without any extra cost for you. And this really helps me a lot and I would really appreciate it. And now also let me know down in the comments what you think about the ToneX Cab. I would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, then please make sure to hit the like button and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new here so that we can see each other in the next video.